Okay, we're back in the studio and we're going to take a quick trip via Google Hangout to Ohio State University to speak with Dr. Ken Hale, the Assistant Dean of Pharmacy Practice and Administration. Thank you, Ken, for being here on the show with us. And I want to start by what we just saw on the screen. It says the United States and New Zealand are the only two countries we're going to see magazine and television commercials for prescription drugs. And it's hard to watch Sunday afternoon of sports and not see those. What, if anything, can we draw from that little fact?
You bet. Thanks, Casey. It's a pleasure to be with you all today. We believe in the work we do in our College of Pharmacy called the Generation RX Initiative. And we chose this phrase Generation RX because it speaks to our culture in the United States as a drug-taking culture. So, you know, as you suggested, we see ads on television for prescription drugs when we watch the television in the evening. Only New Zealand and the United States allow that. We use more prescription drugs than any other country on the planet. We expect quick fixes. We have lots of access to information about prescription drugs. We have normalized the use of these products in our society. We believe that this underlies really the problem you're talking about tonight, because we start to forget that there's a reason for the prescription, and we start to use products in ways that maybe they weren't prescribed or other people's products. Greg Kritzer is the author of a book called Generation RX. He calls it pharmaceutical populism, a growing culture of self-diagnosis and self-prescription. And so fundamentally what we need to do is come back to understanding that, as Nicole suggested, these drugs can help us live longer and happier lives for sure, but used inappropriately, they can hurt us. So we need to draw that back in.
Does this tie into what we were just talking about too, where because it came from the doctor, it must be safe?
Absolutely. I think, and we suggest in our work, that there are kind of three reasons for this problem. One is misperceptions of safety. So, you know, people think that it's, you know, these prescription drugs are safer than abusing street drugs. In some ways that may be true in terms of purity and the like, but chemically they are the same kinds of compounds. They can do the same things to our bodies. They can still be addicting and all those kinds of things. If you look at the chemical structure of oxycodone, which is OxyContin, and heroin, it doesn't take a chemist to see that these are very similar compounds. The second thing we think is a myth, that there's a belief that this is not illegal to use these things inappropriately. As a matter of fact, the drugs we're talking about are called controlled substances. Lots of laws surrounding them, and in most states it's a felony to have them without a prescription. Most people do not understand that. And the third thing is just easy access. Most people who abuse these drugs, and Nicole and others have really hit this as well, get them from family or friends, often from the family medicine cabinet. About 70% of those who abuse them get them from family or friends. So we need to protect them better. We need to bust the myths, as Nicole suggested as well, about safety and legality. We need to educate people.
We also saw a statistic earlier tonight concerning Adderall. You're on a college campus. Is this something you see with students using this drug for a way it was not intended?
Absolutely. I'm particularly concerned about the college age population. We know from the National Survey on Drug Use and Health data that the average age where prescription drug abuse starts is 21 to 22. So I'm sitting on a campus right now with about 55,000 people that are right around that age. So we're doing a lot of work, peer-to-peer education of our students, trying to educate others about these issues. Adderall is a big deal. And I've heard other people on your program already say it. Students sometimes don't get it. They don't see the downside to this. And actually, I'd like to read something to you, Casey. I've got in my hand the black box warning for Adderall XR. So if you don't know about package inserts and black box warning, when the FDA puts a black box around something, it's the highest risk level that they will do. It's the highest problem. So here's what they say about Adderall. It says, amphetamines, which is Adderall, have a high potential for abuse. Prolonged administration may lead to dependence. Misuse of amphetamines may cause sudden death and serious cardiac adverse reactions. I mean, people can become addicted to these products. There can be serious health consequences, including death. I mean, that sounds kind of like reefer madness back in my day. I mean, it's a fact. And the other thing that I say about Adderall to our students, and this sounds very academic, is that, you know, isn't college about building the habits to be a successful professional in your life? And if you're using some sort of what you think is a study drug just to get through college, is that really going to be a habit you're going to stop when you get into your profession? I mean, shouldn't you be thinking about healthy habits for the long-term professional success in life? And students sometimes hear that, sometimes they don't.
Yeah. So I think you have some students that are hearing that, and they are taking that message to other people, I believe. Is that something that you hope will change this culture we're talking about, and explain what your students are doing?
Yeah, thank you, Casey. So I'd like to maybe make a pitch for some resources that we have available. They're available for free. So we're called the Generation RX Initiative. If you Google that, you'll find us. We have a variety of toolkits that are used to educate the very young, college-age students, adults in the community, even senior citizens about this issue. You can download them for free and use them. Our students are taking these tools on our campus to local schools, to adult meetings, teachers meetings, Rotary, those kinds of things in the community, even going into senior citizens centers to educate people about these myths that we've talked about. Let's correct them. If you're thinking these are safer, if you're thinking they are legal, if you're thinking they're not addictive, at least know the facts before you use them. And we're finding that to be really successful.